When a man goes to a toilet, he usually goes for one reason and one reason only. Women use toilets as social lounges and therapy rooms. Women who go to a toilet as strangers can come out best friends and lifelong buddies. But everyone will be instantly suspicious of the man who called out, "Hey Frank, I'm going to the toilet. You wanna come with me?" So, hi guys. This is the first episode of Share a Book, Share a Thought. Share a book, share a thought with me. Let's all P Marema. So yeah, this is the first episode, and welcome to the episode, guys. Welcome to the episode. So I read this book, all right, but I've not finished it yet. So I just wanted to share this man. It says, okay, the title of the book says, "Why Men Don't Listen and Women Can't Read Maps." All right. So when I saw this book, I was like, it gave me so much curiosity about why. Why are we regarded as not listening, or as people who are not listening, or as, yeah, why are we not regarded as people who listen, or why are we regarded as people who don't listen? Like I was like, okay, let me read this, man, because as men, we live we don't live alone. As men, we live with women, and women live with us. So, and it is clear that we are different. It is clear that we are different. And when we say we are different, we don't mean uh, difference does not mean the opposite of equalism or equality. Sorry, of or equality. Difference is not the opposite of equality, because equality means being free to choose to do things that we want to do, while difference means that we as men and women, we may not want to do the same things. So like this book is all about that, why as men uh, may want to do things that women may not want to do. All right, because of we usually choose different things of the same list. Like if a guy and a guy and a girl, let's say they are in a relationship or not, or regardless of their relationship, if they were given a list of, let's say, maybe 10 things, it is, and they were required to choose 5 things from that list, from that list. So it is very rare, it is very very rare for them to choose the same things that they want to do. Or let's say that list has a list of things to do, let's say maybe for the day or for the year or for anything. It is very rare for a guy and a girl, or a male and a female, to choose same things on of the same list. So it means that we are different, men. We are different. We are different. Not that we are not equal. We may we may be equal, because of equality just means being free to choose whatever. Or it means if we were to say we want to be equal, we just want the opportunity, or female want the opportunity, the same opportunities that we as men get, or we as men, we want the same opportunity that women get. All right. So this book is written by Allen and Barbara Peace. All right. So this is a couple. So this book, "Why Men Don't Listen and Women Can't Read Maps," it this edition, because I think it has more than one edition. Okay, it has more than one edition, because of this edition was published in 2003. All right, and I saw on the internet the other edition, which was published on 2001. All right, so I don't know whether there are only two editions or what, but this one that I have here, it was published in 2003. All right, yeah, it was published in 2003. So there are questions that we usually ask ourselves about the other gender. Women usually ask, or women have a set of questions that they ask about us. Like, for example, like why men don't listen. All right. And I think there's this saying that says, apple does not fall far from the tree. All right. So, which means we as men, we cannot be accused of not listening while we do listen. It is because of women saw something we do or saw a familiar trait of not listening amongst us men. And we cannot just say why women can't read maps or can't read maps as we do uh, without ntle le gore maybe re bone something e le goreng bona ba e dira e le goreng we end up saying why can't they read maps. So it is because of maybe it is true, it may not be 100% true or but it should be close to that. Tshwantse be gausi le that thing of like why women can't read maps, because if we can just start by saying men don't listen without even having something to point or having any valid thing to use as an evidence of saying why men don't listen. All right, so this book is trying to answer those questions, is trying to answer those questions of like saying of women asking about men, why do women do that, or why do men do that. So this book is all about they are trying to answer to answer those questions. Like myself, I used to ask myself that why uh, women accompany each other to toilet. Like why why would you do that, man? Like, or maybe why women are so touchy. Like women are so touchy, man. Like women are so touchy with us. I mean, I can be with, let's say I can be with my friend, my male friend, all day, and we can spend the whole day without touching each other. That's how we are. So I tend to ask myself, why do women touch so much? Why? Why do you touch so much? All right. Yeah. Why do you touch so much? So okay. So this book has, all in all, it has 11 chapters. All right. So it has 11 chapters, and I just want to go through only the very first chapters. I think the other chapters will see them in the coming episodes. But on this episode, I just want us to look at the first three chapters. So chapter one is the name of chapter one says same species, different world. So it talks about uh, the difference between male and female based on how we evolved. All right, how we evolved. I'm one person who does not believe in evolution. I really don't believe we were once monkeys. All right, but I will try not to be biased. But this chapter, first chapter, speaks about the evolution, speaks about the difference between male and female based on the evolution. All right, and chapter two, it is the behavior. It is the difference. It is the difference between the behaviors of women and the behaviors of men, or the behaviors of males and of females. And the last chapter that we're gonna look, it is the the mind, like how the mind influence us. So it's all in the mind. All right. So it states that everything that we do has to do with the mind, because of anything or everything, not everything, anything that you do uh, comes first from the mind, or it comes from the mind. So chapter 3 is all about that. It looks at how the mind, or how our mind functions, how the or what is the difference, or yeah, the difference between the mind of a female and of a the mind of a male. All right, so let's look at chapter 1, or let's go through chapter 1. I'm not going to read. Don't be I'm not going to read. But okay, chapter 1 is all about evolution. All right? So back then it is believed that human used to live in caves. All right, human used to live in caves, and uh, obviously they had to eat. Obviously they had to eat if they were reproducing, or let's say they have, or a time came by where they have to have kids, or as human, uh, I strange for us to go through reproduction. It is how we are wired. Women have to, or any species have to go through reproduction. All right. So obviously they had to eat. Let's talk about a day. A day they had to eat. Let's say they had children. Okay. Let's say it's a male and a female. In this scenario, it's a male and a female, and they live in caves. They live in a cave. All right. And they had, let's say they had children. Let's say two or three. All right. What was we obviously know that this family had to eat, and this family had to be taken care of. There had to be someone who cooks, there had to be someone who takes care of the cave. So it is believed that men used to hunt, or it is, if we use our common sense, or if we use history, it is believed that men used to hunt, or yeah, used to hunt, and women used to take care of the cave, or to make sure that everything in the cave runs. Like today, we know that, or we expect men to be providers, while women use, while women are nurturers, or basadi ke bona ba they take care of everything in the house. All right. So uh, because of they had to eat, or they had to survive, men would go for hunt, and women would stay at the cave with the children and take care of the children, make sure everything is in order. So all that life, like every day, or let's say most of the time, men spend their time away from the cave hunting, or like, let's say, looking for food. All right. So what we know is that, uh, as you do something as you do something again and again and again, you tend to develop a special skill that helps you do that thing well. You develop a special skill that helps you do that particular job well. All right. That's why we say practice makes perfect. If you practice something, or if you do something more often, you do it today, you do it tomorrow, you do it continuously, you tend to become perfect in that thing. So as men were hunters, and women gathered and nurtured, they gathered, let's say they gathered fruits, vegetables to for their family. That's what they did, or that's what is it is believed they did. All right. So if they did that, uh, it is obvious that they develop the skills them do to help them do that. All right. So women gathered fruits, vegetables, and all that, and they nurtured the children, or they took care of their children. All right. While men hunted, but when they were at the cave, or when they were at they were back at the cave, or when maybe let's say it's night, they had to come at the cave. All right. So when they were at the cave, they had to protect the family, or protect the cave. So men protected, and men hunted. Yeah, hunted. All right. So women gathered, and women nurtured. So it means women develop skills for them to nature best, or to nature better. They also develop skills to gather better, or to take care of the children better. And men develop skills to hunt better, and to protect better when they are in the caves. So for men, the research says men did not, when them when ge ba le mo caving, They did not protect because of it is their job to protect, but they protected because of their nature, or the nature in them forced them to protect. So it is believed that it is hormones that give us men the 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 traits that we show, or the hormones ke tsone tse le goreng di re fa what we oreng ke reng the hormone ke tsone tse le goreng they influence us to do what we do. All right, so we don't we don't protect, or we don't provide because of our father provided, or because of we saw our father providing and we tend to provide, but we provide because of our hormones. Our hormones lead us to provide, or influence us to feel the need to provide, or to have the desire to provide. If you see your family, you have that thing of like, I have to provide. Is not because of you saw people doing it, but it's because of your nature. Your hormones tells you to do that. And to even to women, they do not nurture the the children, or nurture the whole family. They do not take care of the whole family because of someone told them to do that, or because of they saw their parents or their forefathers do that. It is because of the the hormones that they have. All right, or the hormones that we have tends to influence us in how to behave. All right, as men and as female. All right, so men were lunch chasers. We can just summarize it by saying men were lunch chasers and women were nest defenders, because when they were at the nest, they had to to monitor their surroundings. They had to look for signs of danger. They had to to look at those small changes in the behavior or in the appearance of their children. That's what was required of them. If you were the elder at the caves, or like or getting motho mogolo ko cave o ba tshwanetse ra direng ga ba shetse when the male were out for hunting. O ba tshwanetse o ba a lebelela like, or everything is in order. You'll be like all over the place. You look there, is everything fine? Is this okay? You do that, you do that, you do that. So you develop that thing, you develop that skill of being able to monitor immediate surrounding, like surrounding around you. You develop that thing, and you also have you develop an excellent short range navigation, like being like to be able to navigate things at a short distance, because it is at a cave, or let's say it is in the house. You are always there. You are looking if something everything is in place. So you develop that skills. But for men, because they spend their they spend most of their time hunting, they had to develop uh, the skills to help them hunt, or the skills to help them uh, be able to detect the animals, or maybe the food. Let's just say the food. All right, so they both develop, men and women both develop special skills to help them with their daily work. All right, women, we can just say women were nest defenders and men were lunch chasers. All right, so back then the relationship between women and men, or between a female and a male, were not that difficult. The relationship were not that difficult, because of what was required from women was just nurturing, yeah, nurturing was just nurturing, taking care of everything in the house. And what was required from the male or from the man was to provide, or was to bring food home, or was to put the bread on the table. That was the only thing that is required, because of survival was so critical that uh, that was the main thing. If you do that thing, then we are fine. Unlike today, we know that survival is not difficult. or it is not critical back then. It is not critical. So back then, if a woman finds a man that can put bread on the table or that can put food on the table, that was all. But now that's not all, or that's not everything that you should do. Now we tend to look at our partners for love. We want love. But back then, love was not the main thing. The main thing was to survive. The main thing was to survive. And everyone did his part or did her part in making sure that the lives keep on keep on each other pele, like life each other pele. So now relationship it is difficult, but survival it is not difficult because of now re na le ditleliniki, re na le security, like re na le di-rights, all those things they are protect. They are protect. And also if someone kills someone, it is a crime because for our survival is not that critical. And we have, like in here in South Africa, we have um re na le why in Chabella, grant. Ronaldo Grand. So survival like Aisale, if we compare it in the to the ancient days, it is not that difficult. I difficult, but the relationships are difficult because of that one thing that was required from men. It is no longer the main thing or the only thing that that was that was required from a man, or those things that were required from women are not the same thing that now we only required from women. So it means that the relationship now are difficult. Survival is not difficult. So if relationships are difficult, so we need to understand, like to make them easier or to make them run smoothly, we need to understand why do women behave the way they do, or why we as men behave the way we do. Like for I think for me to understand another girl, to understand why she behaves the way she behaves, because of I find it strange. Men find it strange to the way women behave because of it is not the way they behave. All right. So another thing that helps you understand why person behaves the way he behaves, it is because, or she behaves, it is because you see that she does not or he does not behave the way you do. So first you have to understand yourself, or simultaneously you have to understand why do I behave the way I do, and why does she or he behave the way she does. All right. So chapter 2 says uh, women are radar detectors. All right. Why is that so? Because as a child bearers and nest defender, they had to defend the nest back then. They had to sense subtle mood or attitude change in others. All right. So this is now it is mostly called women's intuition. All right. We know that women have this thing, like have this thing of noticing things, of noticing small changes in, like they now it is believed that when a man cheats, uh, women tend to know that they are women, that their men cheat, even if they don't confront. It is believed that when a man cheats, a woman is aware. I don't know why they don't confront, or I don't know that, but it is believed that when a man cheats, a woman is able to detect that something is wrong, or his behavior has changed. But a woman can cheat, and it will be difficult for a man to see that change in his woman. So that's why we say women are radar detectors. All right, because of back then they need to be able to pick up small changes in the behavior of their offspring that they could that could signal pain or hunger and so on. So if you spend or if your job is to take care of of the the children, you'll obviously develop a skill that helps you detect uh, when the child is hungry, or when the child is feeling pain, or when the child is not comfortable. All right, so that thing became their 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 thing, or that thing became their skill to be able to detect those small changes, because back then it used to be what they did uh, each and every day, each and every day, to be able to detect or to pick up those small changes in the behavior of their offspring that could signal pain, hunger, and so on. All right. So another thing is that the eyes of women. Okay, because women, okay, the eyes of women uh, display more white than men's eyes. The eyes of women display this white part. It is more on women than it is on men. So it is believed that it is caused by uh, women. When they were at the cave, they had to take care of everything in the cave. So their eyes were like looking there, looking there, looking there at the same time, or they had to to look at I don't know. I get I get but o tshwanetse o lebelele kua o lebelele kua o lebelele kua o lebelele gore like bana ba sharp o lebelele gore mollo wa di ka nako ela ya the cave time o lebelele gore everything e rana ga botse na. So o mahlo a dirang a move up and down, up and down, left and right, up and down, left and right. So this white thing in the eye, if it is large, or if you know ke kgolo, e allow this small thing to move, or it allow the eyeball to move back and forth, forward, left and right. It yeah allow like if a space, more space. Like if I look there, I can easily, if you look at this thing, let's say maybe this black thing was just a small thing. If 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 it is a small thing, it will be easy for me for the eye to turn and look there. But if it is a hole, this white thing does not allow or does not give too much space for the black thing to move. I don't know if I'm making any sense now. But if this white thing, it is wider, it allows the eyeball to rotate. All right, to rotate. So that is why now women tend to to be able to spot certain things, or to be able to see many things at the same time. It is believed that it is because of they try to connect it with the with they try to connect it with them being the caregivers at the caves. They had to look for this and this and this and this. If you protect or if you defend, if let's say, okay, let's talk about defending. Women were nest defenders, so they had to like look for if you are a defender, you don't look for one thing, you look for any signs of danger. You watch out, you look this way, you look this way, you look this way continuously. So they develop that thing, and the which means if this wider which means if this white things it is white, or their eyes displays more white thing, it means they will have a peripheral perif- peripheral peripheral wider peripheral vision, which means they can see a wider thing, or they can see a, at a wider space in a time, or ba ka kgona go bona dilo tse dintši ka nako e one. Unlike for men, now it is believed that banna ba kgonne go bona certain things. If monna lebelela this certain thing, o bona that thing, specifically that thing, that thing. So when they link this man with the ancient people who lived in caves. They say it is because of men used to hunt, and if they hunt, their focus becomes, or their eyes become, or they develop a skill of looking for a certain thing, or on concentrating only on one thing. Like for example, when you look at go caving, okay, let's not caving, okay, go chatting or to hunt, and you see an animal that you want to catch or that you want to kill, your focus will be on that thing only. You don't care about the surrounding, you don't care about anything, but your focus, it is on that thing. So for men, it is believed that they develop that thing of looking for that thing, of looking for come on, okay, of looking for that thing, that one thing at a time. So they did not have to, they did not need to look for things, for those surrounding things, because that was the only goal that they wanted to achieve. It is to find that thing, or to find that animal. So that's why now men tend to, or they seem to be more ugly than women. Ugly is to stare, like banna e ba lebelela ne, e ba lebelela, for example, e ba lebelela basadi, or ge mosadi a a bona monna a mo lebeletše, o mo lebelela ka that thing, man, o mo lebelela ka gore, like basadi ba kgona go bona gore monna o ntibeletše, like o focus everything, e focus mo go wena, and it is easy for women to go bona gore monna o ntibeletše, or for women to detect that that man is ugly. But for rena banna, we can't, it is easy, it is not easy go bona gore mosadi lo ntibeletse, because of they can just look that way and still look at you. Ba kana lebelela kua, wena o le that side, mara they will still see you. But for rena bana, it is believed it is because of we focus on one thing at a time. We focus on one thing at a time. That's why most men are called ugly, but not women. Not many women are called ugly. All right. So males are equipped for seeing rather than hearing, because of they had to look for, they had to look for the animal or for the food. All right. But women, because of they were defending, or their daily job was to defend, they also had to listen to any change in the surrounding, any change or any strange sound in the surrounding. All right. So because of women develop that thing of listening while 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 doing other things, because they had to listen for for being able to detect for any danger. They had to listen, so they developed a skill for listening, compared to men. When a man was like, well, if a man na lebeletse a phoofolo a nyaka go bolaya that, go bolaya phoofolo ewe, street a nyaka go bolaya phoofolo ewe, le sound na you even close your kore, you don't even concentrate on what you hear, because of until we liberating, that's the only goal that you want to. So they did not develop a effective, they did not develop skills se ba dira gore ba be better listeners, because of their role did not require them to listen. They did not develop a skill for listening, because of their roles did not allow them to listen, or to listen most of the time. Their job just allowed them to watch and concentrate on that thing. But for women, they had to look around and listen for any danger, or any change, or any strange sound that they are not familiar with. All right. So yeah. So another thing that women have that men don't have, it is the skin. All right. The skin of women is it is thinner compared to the women of compared to the skin of the male. But the female skin it is thinner than the male skin, but it has an extra fat layer below it for more warmth in winter and to provide endurance. So it is thinner. Yes, mara in a layer below. Yeah, a fat to keep them warm. To keep them warm. So that's the reason why women are more sensitive to touch than men. Or maybe that's the reason why it explains why women are so touchy compared to men. So, and there's this hormone called oxytocin hormone. So this hormone, it is both found in male and in female. But in female, it is the typical level of oxytocin in female. It is high, and in male it is low. And this hormone stimulates the urge to be touched. Maybe that's the reason why women are so touchy, because of the oxytocin level. It is high compared to male, because this hormone stimulates the urge to be touched. All right, so this hormone, it fires up the touch receptor more in females than in males. Because of this hormone, because of the level that because of the high level in the high level of it in females, or this hormone fires up the touch receptor. So females will tend to want to be touched more compared to men. All right. So another point about women having thin skin is because now we can tell that women tend to have more wrinkles than males. It is because of their skin. It is thin. It is thin. So they tend to have more wrinkles than men. So men are often regarded as being insensitive. Now men are are often regarded as being insensitive. I think the reason why they are okay. I think the reason why females tend to say men are insensitive is because uh, women have high perceptiveness. Ba kgona go spotter like the difference, ba kgona go spotter the mood change, ba kgona go spotter a change or anything. Ba kgona go spotter like so quickly. But for men, that's not the case. For men, that's not the case. Or for another, that's not the case. We cannot spot if, let's say, we cannot spot, for example, if your partner or your female partner is all upset when your partner is upset. So we cannot easily spot that, not because of we don't want, but because of we cannot do that. So sometimes when a woman is upset, o expecta gore monna a kgone go bona gore o upset, goba a kgone go bona gore o kwatile, or maybe a kgone go bona gore a kgone go bona because of yena o ba e tla bona. O expecta ntho because of le yena na e tla bona wa bona. So banna ba tlo e felletse e bea banna as being insensitive people, because of we can't a re kgone, because of are not those skills that di thuša motho gore a detecte those things. It is because of we can't. It is because of we can't. Because of women's higher perceptiveness, she expects men to read her verbal, vocal, and body language to anticipate her needs, just as she would to him. She would do to him, or as another woman would do. Another woman find it easy to detect that this woman or this girl is angry or is upset or is what, women still require or expect their partners or males to also be able to detect that. That's why we end up saying, that's why uh, that's why women say men are insensitive. But it's not because of they are insensitive. They just don't have those special skills to detect that. To detect that. So let's look at the brain. All right, the brain. I don't want to talk too much about the brain because too much, man. Too much. But okay, we have the left part of the brain and the right part of the brain, and they are both connected by the corpus callosum. So the study shows that the corpus callosum, it is more thicker, or the connections between those two are the connector gave the corpus callosum, and the connection of the women, if you compare to men, it is 30% more. Those connections between the left part of the brain and the right part of the brain, the connection, it is 30% more of women. It is 30% more of men. Right. So, which means the information to travel from the left part of the brain to the right part of brain, it will be more advanced in women than in men. It will be more advanced in women than in men. So I want to read this thing. So it says in 1999, brain researcher Professor Ruben Gu of the University of Pennsylvania Medical Center discovered that women have more gray matter than men in the brain. All right, had more gray matter than men. So the gray matter is where the brain does its computational work and makes women more communicators than men. So it means, let's say they look at how the brain works. Let's say they do a certain task, or they give men and female the certain task while looking at how their brain works. All right. So it shows that more part of the brain of women works more compared to compared to compared to men's brain, compared to men's brain. So in order re ba checka gore gabotse which part works for a certain thing. Let's say maybe for communication or for anything. Monagano wa mosadi o bereka more, or mosadi o shumisha more part of his brain to do a certain thing than men. So that monna ga dira something go bereka only few parts, which means monagano wa monna o all about being specialized. Like what specialized? If re dira this thing, that thing ko monaganong wa gago go bereka yona that thing, or go bereke part e kgolo, like go bereke part e kgolo gana mowe. So monagano wa monna o compartmentalized, which means or o bereka in compartments, or in section. But monagano wa mosadi o bereka o shumisha almost ka moka ga ona, goba o shumisha more parts compared to men. And this maybe the reason why it is because of connection between the left part of the brain and the right part of the brain. It is small. The connection it is small because of what? Okay, in the as I've just read, it says more gray part are found in more gray part are found in women's brain than in men's brain. All right, so men's brain are compartmentalized, which means if we were to, let's say we do a certain activity and we check how the brain works, or how the brain, or which part of the brain works for that certain thing. For men, you will find a small part of the brain that is doing that thing. For a female, or for women, you'll find more compared to the men. So monna o shumisha a less brain, ga a dira something o shumisha a less brain, mosadi o shumisha more part of the brain, right? So that's why maybe most of females are smart than most male, or an average of males are smarter than an average of females, because of they use more part of their brain. And maybe that's why they also maybe that's why they are also able to multitask. Maybe that's why, because of women are tend to find it simple to multitask. As for us men, when I do this, I just want to do this only and be done with that thing. Maybe that's why it explains uh, why women why women tend to multitask, and and why female tend to multitask, or women tend to find it easily to multitask, while us men, we don't multitask as much as as females do. So yeah, that's our let me just uh, call it an episode. All right. So yeah, it was from chapter 1 until chapter 3. So I think on episode 2, we will look from chapter. I will go through chapter 4, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. Yeah, maybe 4, 5, 6. If it is not that long, I can go up to like 6, 7. If it is not that long, I just don't want the episode to go like for more than an hour. For more than I don't know, maybe I just don't prefer it that way, because of it tends to be boring, man. Just listen to one. Maybe I think things are interesting when they come in small amounts. It becomes interesting. Before you get bored, then I'm done. Before you get bored, that thing is done. I think that's the way it is. It is the better way. So yeah, that's that. That's that Bafetu. That's that Bafetu. Away. Catch you on another episode. Same time, same place. Away.